you one of the most powerful performance enhancement tools out there. This tool is visualization. Visualization helps individuals overcome anxiety, improve performance, and make the most of their power that their brains have to offer. Many people face anxiety while performing and don't mentally prepare for the most stressful situations in life, ultimately causing them not to perform at their best. Through visualization, however, we can prepare for the biggest moments in our lives, make the most of the ability that our brains have to offer, and improve our performance. Whether it's the biggest win of your career or your best performance you've ever had, moments like this can be achieved more frequently with the help of visualization. Activating one of our brain's most powerful tools can lead to less stress and higher performance. And with that foundation laid, we can transition into my first point, which is how performance anxiety and mental unpreparedness can prevent athletes and individuals from performing at their best. Performance anxiety is the fear of failing when your actions are being evaluated. Whether it's during a speech, during your sports performance, or musical or theater performance, I'm sure all of us have experienced this in some way or another. Studies say that at least 60% of us have experienced it, and it starts as early as childhood, which shows just how much it affects us. Performance anxiety can cause a decrease in performance. I personally have faced this. I played piano for a piano studio back home, and honestly the worst part of performing was playing piano was actually performing the songs, which ended up, because of my performance anxiety, which ended up being really disappointing afterwards because I wasn't able to perform my best because of performance anxiety. And I'm sure all of you have experienced this, which is why finding a solution is so important. And the solution I'm going to offer is visualization. Visualization is the process of creating mental images to form desired images or outcomes. Take Michael Phelps, Olympic gold medalist, for example. He would visualize his race from start to finish, both the good and the bad, so that he could be prepared for anything that the race could throw in his way. This helped him perform in high-pressure situations without having to think. How does it even work? Well, according to Frontiers in Human Neuroscience, motor imagery and action execution share neural pathways without actually physically moving. So basically, you can practice without moving, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't practice without moving because, again, taking Michael Phelps, for example, he still practiced 4 to 6 hours daily while using visualization, which only helped improve his practice and performance. Not only can it enhance our performance, but it can also help us overcome obstacles. I'm sure many of us have experienced a setback or injury in some capacity or another, and bottom line, it really does suck. I've experienced this firsthand when I tore my ACL my sophomore year, and I had surgery, lots of PT, and I wasn't back in playing until the spring of my junior year. And during PT, the first thing that my physical therapist would have me do would be to visualize. And at first, I wasn't completely sold. I kind of thought it was silly, but I kept an open mind, and I would close my eyes and visualize simple movements such as running on the treadmill. And I actually did start noticing improvements in my confidence and my coordination. And I actually started to buy into the process of visualization. And as I furthered my recovery, I started actually visualizing softball games. And by the time I came back for my junior season, I was more confident and prepared than I ever have been, even after coming off a long-term injury. So all the mental preparation led to reduced anxiety, clearer thoughts, and a better overall performance. And an article called Visual Techniques in Sport supports this when it says, through mental rehearsal, athletes can become calmer and more adapt to difficult situations. So we've seen that anyone can do it anywhere, anytime, which is what makes visualization so practical and helpful. Visualization gives us the opportunity to take control of our brain power, enhance our performance and confidence, and it's easily accessible to us. We have the power to gain control of our minds and shape our experiences, and if we have it, why not take advantage? According to another article called The Power of Visualization, our brains don't know the difference between imagination and reality. This means that when you visualize or imagine performing at your best, your brain wouldn't be able to recognize that it's not real. So when you visualize, you can visualize performing your best and practice being your best without actually physically doing it yet. This only builds confidence and preparedness and makes your brain think that you've been there before even when you haven't. Again, we all have this ability, so it just takes a couple minutes of intentional practice and thinking. According to another article called The Effects of Imagery Practice on Athletes' Performance, it says results indicated practicing imagery for 10 minutes 3 times a week over 100 days can produce the strongest performance. That is 30 minutes per week, and you can even break it up daily by just doing it a couple minutes daily. and still see improvements. Luckily, you don't need a gym membership or a personal trainer to access this tool because it comes from the power of our own brain. And best part, it's completely free. So once you start to practice visualization, you'll start to realize that it's more than just imagination. And it's a tool that helps you overcome anxiety, improve performance, and reach your full potential. We saw how performance anxiety can hold you back, how visualization activates neural pathways in your brain, and how real-life examples show that it truly does work. Your brain works hard each day, so use it to your advantage. And I hope today you begin to visualize your own success and see those visions come to life.